Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You are likely watching this video today because you received this message from Amazon where they are requiring from you proof of insurance because maybe you're a seller who does more than $10,000 in sales in a given month. Now, Amazon has actually always required that sellers who have reached that $10,000 in sales per month threshold have a certificate of insurance on file with them. But in the past, they just haven't seemed to care to ask until today. And every single seller who doesn't currently have a certificate of insurance on file has received that message that I just showed you. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do if you are not currently insured, the type of insurance you need to have, which it's really basically it's general liability, excess liability, or an umbrella liability policy. And Amazon has the certain standards that they laid out in that message that you need to make sure you are meeting. So we're going to be working with The Hartford, which is an insurance company that meets Amazon standards as once again dictated in that message they sent out. And it's a very straightforward process with The Hartford. I went through and got my insurance through them. It was very easy and simple. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you contact information for a rep that you can call, email, or get in contact with in order to get started if you have not got your certificate of insurance. So let's jump right into my computer. I'm going to show you exactly how to go through the steps of adding Amazon as an insured, what you need to do. And we're just going to tackle this issue real quick. So don't worry. This may seem really intimidating to you if you haven't dealt with insurance in the past. Trust me, it's not that bad. And yes, it's going to cost you a little bit of money, but it's well worth your money to be able to stay on Amazon's platform. So let's get right into my computer and we're going to walk right through this. Now, before we go over to The Hartford to get a quote for our insurance policy, you need to be aware of Amazon's coverage requirements. Now, I'm not going to read these out loud to you one by one. They're simply pasted in the description box below so you can see all of these requirements there if you don't already have access to them. Now, in regards to bullet point 3, The Hartford is a qualifying insurance provider. In other words, they have an S&P and AM Best rating of A- or better. So we're good in that regards. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the rest of these. So once we get our quote, you are going to be getting in contact with a rep from The Hartford, or you could use the contact information of the individual I'm going to give you at the end of this video. And you're just going to want to make sure that all of these points are covered in your policy. Now, they should be able to help you and know exactly what you need, but it doesn't hurt to double check. So let's go over to The Hartford real quick and let's get our insurance quote. So you can use the link in the description below to get to The Hartford's quote portal, or you can go to Google and simply type The Hartford Amazon Seller Insurance. Now, when you've done that, go ahead and click the first link that comes up, and it's the one that says General Liability Insurance The Hartford. So let's click that link. And what we're going to do here is get a quote today. So let's click that. Now, what we're first going to do is give them some information about our business. So up here, we're going to say we're an Amazon seller, and we're going to basically say that we're just an online retailer. So click the online retailer option. And then it's going to ask us several questions about our business. No, none of the above here, at least for my business. And for those of you that do wholesale, you're going to click no to this question here. But if you're a private label seller, well, you will have to click yes. Now, for those of you who do put on your own FNSKU barcodes or you polybag your items, this does not count as relabeling, so still click no here. For the next question, you're also going to click no unless you are specifically buying your products from China or Mexico. Now, if you're a private label seller, you might be doing this, but if you're doing the wholesale business model, you most likely are getting all of your products here in the US from distributors or wholesalers. No, we don't offer additional services. We have one business location, which is where we are sending our inventory from. We have one employee just because it's me, it's you. And then you're just going to put in the year that your business was established, and you'll put in your zip code. So enter that information, select I'm not a robot, and we're going to hit continue. Now on this next page, we are going to select the option for general liability, because remember, that is one of the policies that Amazon will accept. So go ahead and click general liability, and we are going to say when we want our insurance to start, and then we're also going to say when we want the policy to end. Now, typically policies are annual, so every year they're going to renew. So you would put an end date of, say, a year from now, and just make sure it's on auto renew when you complete your policy with the rep. So let's go ahead and continue from here. Now on the details about our operations page, we're going to select none of the above here because we are not transporting or hauling goods for others. We're not arranging or managing the transportation and hauling of goods for others. So let's go ahead and select none of the above here. For the next question, we're going to select no, and then no, and no. Obviously, unless you are selling pharmaceutical drugs, which you most likely are not, and you're most likely not selling cigarettes or any of those items. So we're just going to select no for all these and hit continue. Now on this page, we're going to enter our legal business name. This has to match the legal entity on your seller account. And I'm going to show you real quick where you can find that. All right, once you're inside of your Amazon seller account, you're simply going to go over to the settings tab and scroll all the way down to where it says account info and click there. Once we're in the account info section of our seller account, you're simply going to go to the middle section here where it says business information and select legal entity. Now this legal business name is the name that needs to be reflected on your insurance policy. So make sure this is what you enter on this section that we are currently working through. All right, now that we've obtained the legal entity from our seller account, we are going to put that name right here where it says legal business name. Next, we're going to put in our address. Preferably, this address will match the address on our Amazon account, although it does not say on the notification that we receive from Amazon that that is absolutely necessary, but I would suggest doing that if at all possible. And then from there, we're going to input our business owner contact information and select continue. Now on this next page, we're going to select whether we are an LLC, an individual, or some other business form. Most likely everyone watching this video is either operating as an individual or an LLC. So I'm going to go ahead and select limited liability company, LLC. And then where it says web address, you're going to put your Amazon seller storefront link here. And then underneath that, you're going to add some description to the products that you sell on Amazon. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do that here because I don't want to tell you guys what categories I currently sell in. And then next, we're going to answer the preceding questions. For me, hopefully for you, you're going to select no here. Where do you work? Well, most people might be working in a home office. I have a warehouse, so I'm going to select commercial building. I rent that building, so I'm going to select rent. Some of you might own, so obviously hit own. And then you're going to put the square footage of your building there. For me, it's 2,800 square feet. That's how big my warehouse is. And then last but not least, we're going to put in the estimated annual sales or revenue. Now, this part is going to dictate just how high our premium is going to be. And then one more thing I forgot to mention, we're going to put the percentage of imported products. Now, if we are wholesale sellers, this is likely going to be 0, but if we are operating with the private label business model, most of you are importing your products from China or overseas somewhere, so you'll have to adjust this to whatever it is. Now that we're done with this page, we're going to go ahead and select continue. Okay, now we're on the page where we are going to be setting the general liability limit. If you remember from that file I just showed you at the beginning, the policy limit must be at least $1 million per occurrence and in aggregate, right? So right here, we just want to make sure that this is at 1 million. As you can see, they actually have it preset to 1 million/2 million for aggregate. So we are good here. And for most of you watching this video, you likely do not have employees, so we will select no here unless you do. So let's go ahead and select that option, and we're going to select continue. On this next page, they're going to ask you if you would like to add any additional coverages. Now, remember, the purpose of this is just to be compliant with Amazon, and all they want is that general liability policy that we selected earlier. So we're going to go ahead and pass on these additional 3 add-ons that they're trying to sell us on and go ahead and select continue. So here we are. We've received our general liability insurance quote. You can see mine is roughly $1,700 annually. Now, keep in mind, yours may be less or more depending on the amount of sales you do annually on Amazon.com. One thing I want to point out is if we scroll down here, you can see each occurrence limit is $1 million and the aggregate limit is $2 million. Now, if you remember Amazon's coverage requirements here, we need to make sure we're covered for not only each occurrence or an aggregate, but it has to cover each one of these bullet points here, right? So we're going to want to make sure that that is the case for our policy. So what I recommend is giving the Hartford a call. Now, you can call this number or you can call Lisa, and here is her contact information. She is the rep who helped me. She did a great job. I was very pleased with the service I got, and I actually ended up paying $300 less than what you're seeing on the screen here, and she made sure that I was completely compliant with Amazon. So once we've contacted the Hartford and we have paid for our insurance policy, they're going to send us an email prompting us to register our account and log in to download our certificate of insurance. Now, during this process, they're actually going to give us the opportunity to add additional assured. Now, if you remember from Amazon's coverage requirements, they actually state that the policy must name Amazon.com Services LLC and its affiliates and assignees as additional insured. So this process is very important, and I am going to walk you through exactly how to make sure you are adding Amazon as an assured to your policy. So we're going to head right back over to that welcome email we received from the Hartford, and you're going to select either finish my registration, or underneath where it says request your certificate of insurance, you're going to select the link request your cert online now. So once you click that, you will be entering into their prompts. Now, the first thing they're going to ask you is what type of certificate do you need? We're going to select the second option, which is certificate of insurance liability, because that's what Amazon wants from us. And then it's going to ask, who do you want to list on this certificate? Here we're going to select another business or individual because we are going to be adding Amazon.com and their affiliates as an additional insured. Underneath that, it's going to ask, do you and the certificate holder have a written contract, agreement, or permit? Here we're going to select yes because we have an agreement between ourselves and Amazon. This is known as Amazon's terms of service. So now we're going to move on to the next page. Here we're going to select that we want to add additional insured, and then we're going to select continue. And on this page, we are going to enter the name of Amazon Services LLC and its affiliates and assignees. It's very important that we add this name exactly as I have it laid out here. And then we're going to add Amazon's address, which I have is 410 Terry Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, and their zip code is 98109. And then finally, they're going to ask us for an email where they can send the certificate to, and they're going to ask us how often they should send it to us. I selected they should send it to me every year when the policy renews, because every year I'm going to have to send an updated copy to Amazon. After this, there's a review page, and you can just hit submit, and you will receive your certificate of insurance in the mail. So now let's go back over to that Amazon email, and we're going to find where it says upload your certificate of insurance on the business insurance page. We're going to go ahead and click that link, and that is going to take us to a page on Amazon where we can input our insurance provider name, the name of the insured, which once again, it has to match the legal entity of your seller account. Then we're going to put the policy number in there, the start date and the end date. Then we're going to select the file and we're going to submit. Now, in the meantime, we're going to wait for Amazon to review this, but once they've reviewed it, we should receive an email that looks like this, where Amazon is verifying that they have received, reviewed, and have accepted your insurance policy. Now, you can also go back to the business insurance page, that same link that we used on the email we received initially from Amazon. And when you go back, you can check to see that once again, they have accepted your policy. And within that page, it'll also show you, once again, your insurance provider, the policy number, the start date, and the end date in case you ever forget when the end date begins. And once again, next year, you'll have to make sure that you go in and update the policy within your Seller Central account. So there you have it. That is how you become compliant with Amazon's insurance requirement. Now, I hope this video added value to you. If it did, go ahead and smash that like button if you would. And if you like content on how to sell on Amazon.com, specifically using the wholesale business model, subscribe to this channel because there is plenty of excellent content on this channel and that will be coming out in the future. Also, if you're new to the Amazon business model or you are working on scaling your business, join the Facebook group in the link below where you'll have access to a free course getting you up to date on how to scale a wholesale business from $0 to $100,000 in a relatively quick period of time. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and we will see you very shortly in the next video.